Hey everyone. I just wanted to jump in here and give us all a shout out. Just give a shout out to anybody and everybody who is trying on the daily and sometimes moment to moment, and you still feel like you're not getting anywhere. And or that Lord knows you're trying. And I don't want it to be a negative spin, but I just wanted to say that, when we're trying, because I was just thinking how life happens, and that's life, and we really do need to take the good with the bad, because that is life. It is the polarities, it is the yin and the yang, and that is how it goes, and we do learn from our pain. So that is in some senses how it goes, though we really are part of a system that does not really set us up for a win. And I know myself, even letting go of addictions and habits, and how I'm about 3.5 weeks in now, and I can feel myself sort of pulling me back. And I did cave last night and earlier this morning, though still overall I've flipped many things on their heads. And I just wanted to call it for what it is and give permission for everybody else's trying, and sometimes that sort of swings back the other way a little bit temporarily. And and I would really say as well, like, just being in a state of gratitude most of the time, even when things are tough, and just sort of bringing in little things to be grateful for and feel abundant for, rather than just sort of noticing all the hardships and things like that, because it was just too. Because there's many, and there's many things to be grateful for, but I've just got absolute compassion for just the middle class peoples, and I'm not putting anyone down, and I'm not putting anybody in a box, but we really do. Like, I've just been watching, even today I was watching this couple get out. They look like they've had an argument and things like that, but sometimes that's not healthy and things like that, but sometimes it's like life, and things can back us into a corner that sort of seems to push people away and things like that, or seems to want to gravitate to certain things. And even coming down to the beach, you see people at the beach, and I know myself, I take it in, and I take the beauty in, and I take the magnitude in, and all of the above, and the ions. Though you really do, you see people come here to clear their head, and that you can see people have got some things on their mind. And I think, and I just want to talk about this for a little second, because I think it's sort of a time where more and more people are taking their own lives, more than ever, and of all different ages, whether it be women going through menopause, which I've sort of discovered recently in statistics that women, I think it was between the age of 40 and 55 or something like that, are taking their own lives more than ever. And so you got ADHD people, same thing, just being worn down by trying in a system that doesn't favor the brilliant minds that think outside the square. And and then you've got our youth, that teenagers that are getting subjected to so much pressure, so much stress, and then being stripped of identities as well. Like, they're sort of given these multitude of labels that they can take on. It's like, pick a label, any label, you want to be a dog today, be a dog, It's like, how does one build a foundation on that, Would love to all the dogs out there. Shout out. Shout out. I'm sure Snoop would be proud. But it's, yeah, it's a confusing time. And I want to say as well, just bringing it back to taking back our power. It really is what is called a spiritual warfare at the moment. So any people that are good, wanting to do good in the world, they are really getting a lot of shite, thrown their way, which I do know firsthand. Because, yeah, it's like whilst we're down, and I say we because it's still a battle. It's still a battle. And whilst it's sort of down, and maybe dealing with addictions or dealing with frustration or whatever, you're clouded and you're not in your full power, and you can't step into that full potential and that identity of your higher self. And it really is important. Self-care and self-love has never been more important. And even now, I've just sort of come back in the car. I just went for a walk. Sometimes, and it's cold out there, it's windy, but I've just sort of pulled up at the beach, and sometimes I just sit here and just sort of take it in, and I can see the waves from where I'm sitting. But I just sort of thought to myself, get your scarf, get your water, get out. Just go for a walk, clear your head, move. And so sometimes we've got to take that initial action as well, just to sort of keep our nervous system and our heads on our side. Because again, it's so easy to just get distracted in our phones, and just like the day-to-day, and even this morning, the same thing. I started, there's many things that I've got to do today. Starting a course tomorrow. I potentially want to change my course to one that's pulling on the heartstrings a little bit more and things like that. So I thought, right, okay, get up, call the tape, go up there, see them, career advisor, da-da-da. And and also I'm sort of looking for different things as well. I've sort of changed occupations, and so that comes with an identity shift and things like that, and an identity crisis. So 25 years later of being a hairdresser and things like that. And so it was sort of building. And as much as I'm excited to take this on and to, take it head on, it's sort of, I could feel myself sort of rising, and I was almost starting to say to myself, even though I was sitting on my yoga mat, I was starting to say to myself, you haven't got time to do yoga, you got to go and wash your hair and things like that. You got to get in the shower, you got to wash your hair. And I made myself just do like a little 16-minute yoga session and just do a little bit of breathing. And it really did set me up for more of a sound nervous system for the day. And and then I sort of had a yummy breakfast, and had a shower and got ready and sort of made a move. I just wanted to share these little words here, because I know I'm not the only one going through this right now. And yes, we should be grateful when we've got jobs and things like that. But I just want to say, you are more than your job. And you are more than what your boss thinks of you. You are more than what you take home at the end of the week or end of the fortnight, end of the month, whatever your thing is, or what your parents think of you. And even any other relationship that you have going on in your life. Though I will say, it's those little things that we do for ourselves that really, having our own back, filling our own self-worth tank, can really mean a matter of life or death in some extreme circumstances. Though it can really feel like that sometimes. And I can say that I've said to my partner, I don't want to leave here. I don't think to that extent, but I have actually said to him, I can see where I can see how people get to that point. You know, I can really see how people just get to their wits' ends, are just sick of their stomach being in a knot, and yeah, just sick of robbing Peter to pay Paul, or playing Tetris with accounts, and yeah, with payments here and things like that. And I know it doesn't have to be that way all the time, and I know some people crack the code and make their way through, but I can say, even with my best of intentions and with my passion and with my purpose and things like that, that I am so passionate about, that it's still hard. It's still hard. And that I'm constantly learning, constantly inspiring myself, constantly, yeah, consuming amazing content and information, and still find it hard, and still a conscious being that is aware and knows my heart, knows my strengths, as well as my weaknesses, as well as my shadows, as well as takes responsibility for those things. And it's still hard. And it has a beautiful man, you know, it has a beautiful partner and things like that, that, you know, he's working his ass off, and I'm just seeing him do 6 days and things like that, just like, and then the kids coming up the ranks trying to make their way in the world. And it's sort of like, you know, the salmon swimming upstream, and that's society in a nutshell, though they do it. So it's not to say that it can't be done. But I just wanted to give a shout out there to everybody who is bloody trying and that feels like they're not getting anywhere. Just to say, you're amazing, and I see you, and keep going. Don't stop. And that's the only way to actually succeed, is don't stop. And stopping and surrendering, sometimes you've got to surrender in a moment, but don't stop. It's, you know, that's the only way that I watched Eminem 8 Mile the other day, and yeah, like I was seeing him just sort of sit back in the car and have this day that he was saying to, yeah, his sort of mates, do you reckon there's a day that people actually get to a certain day where they just go, fuck it, you know, and then just start to exist? And no judgment to anybody who has come to that day. Fucking compassion. And because I know that what has ever beaten you down to get to that point has sucked. And so I just wanted to give a pump up, give a shout out, and yeah, but level with the hardship, and level with the addictive patterns, and level with, you know, the cycles and things like that, and the loops and the autopilots and things like that. Though I will say there is so much amazing content out there to listen to, like Joe Dispenza and things like that really does talk about things, and breaking the subconscious patterns is a last thing at night thing and a morning thing. And up until sort of 3.5 weeks ago, actually 4 weeks ago, I was doing really well, and I know that I will do this, but I want to talk to people whilst, you know, that just bridging the gap and honoring that bridge, and honoring the bloody turmoil that goes down on that bridge and under the bridge. Yeah, because it's not always easy, and you know, we can feel so certain and so sure, and then shit happens. And so I just really want to honor everybody out there that's going through something and that's really trying to fight their way through something and make a better life for themselves, to say, I fucking see you and you're doing an awesome job. Keep going, don't stop. Happy healing, and better days are coming for us all. Just keep aligned with a good heart, and the next right thing and the next right thing. And even if you cave on occasion, get back on track and go again.